Welcome back to the channel. This week, I'm going to share with you my favorite launch strategy, why it's my favorite, and some tips that you can use when you implement this strategy into your next launch. So I'm all about testing different strategies. I'm all about finding the one that really fits best for you. I always tell my clients, you have to find your own launch rhythm. You have to find the flow and the strategy that really energizes you and excites you to show up for. And for me, I have tested every strategy under the sun, and I'm continuing to test strategies all the time, but the one strategy that I always go back to without fail, and the best launch results I always get, come from free challenges or multiple day series. I believe a challenge works so well because you have more time to nurture and connect with your audience. And so if we're comparing it to something like a masterclass, a one-time thing, there's a replay. If you don't show up for that one main presentation, you're not gonna get the same element connecting live as you would over a 3 to 5 day challenge where there's multiple opportunities to show up, where there's multiple opportunities for you to nurture your audience, where there's multiple opportunities for you all to be connecting with each other versus just one core class. So I think that if you are trying to build momentum and gain visibility and increase your show up rate, because the thing about a launch strategy in general is that whatever launch event that you are hosting, if people don't show up, if they don't digest the content, if they don't consume it, it's really for nothing. And when you have a multiple day series, it gives people the option to catch up on content in layers. Maybe they missed one day, but they can make day 3. Maybe they missed the first 2 days, but they can come to the final 2 days. It gives them more opportunity to learn from you, and it gives you guys both more time to spend with each other. So my first tip for you when it comes to hosting a challenge is to name it something fun. The word challenge is fine. I'm not saying to not use it, but I'm saying to really be intentional about what you do name the series or challenge so people are really incentivized to show up for it. And it's something that cuts through the noise and it's something that's exciting. So for example, my signature challenge that I run anywhere between 1 and 2 times a year, it is our favorite time of year. It's something that we do a lot of preparation for. It's called Launch Party Week. And Launch Party Week is actually happening pretty soon. So if you want to see this strategy in action, click the link below and get your ass signed up. Anyway, we could have called this the 5-figure flow launch challenge. We could have called it the launch your offer challenge. We could have called it the 5-figure challenge. We could have called it a lot of those names. But the vibe that we want to bring into this experience is celebratory, because launching is celebratory. And so we wanted to create this entire experience, and Launch Party Week gets people excited. It's positioned in a unique way. It's different than just calling it a challenge, and people want to celebrate. They want to go to a party, especially now when we can't be partying together in real life. It's something that's really enticing. It makes people say, I want to check this out. I want to be a part of this. This looks fun. And when they have that perspective, they're so much more likely to show up and consume the content and therefore convert into whatever it is that you're launching. And so aside from being really intentional with what you name your challenge or series, the second tip I have from you is to gamify it as much as possible. When you can make something a game, something interactive, something for people to participate in, it amplifies the entire experience. And we learn so much better in an engaged state versus a passive state. And so, for example, if you're just sitting down watching a replay of a masterclass versus going through a multiple day series where you have homework, where you have a to-do list, where you have accountability, where there's prizes, where there's a giveaway happening, you're totally immersed in that experience because they are so engaged in the free content. They are way more likely to actually see a result, to see that mini transformation transformation and for them to say, wow, this person knows what they're talking about. This was so much fun. This was such a great experience. I can't imagine not moving forward and working with this person. I can't imagine not enrolling in their program. And so in my opinion, I just think there's more opportunity to create engagement and to bring fun games in and to host giveaways or get really, really creative with how you actually facilitate the experience versus just pulling up some slides and talking face to camera for 1 hour, and that's all the opportunity in the launch. Now, the third tip I want to share with you, because this is by far the most asked questions when my clients are planning their own challenges, is how do I know what content to share? How do I know what topics to pick? And my biggest piece of advice to you when it comes to picking your topics for your challenge is I want you to think about what they need to have in place to be perfectly prepared to step into whatever it is you're launching. But aside from that, you can also use it as an opportunity to overcome their own objections around their own success. And so for 5-Figure Flow, for example, when I'm launching my launch course and when I'm hosting Launch Party Week, a big question that comes up for people is, well, you know, I don't have a big following, so I could never have a 5-figure launch. And so a topic I might talk about during Launch Party Week is why you don't need a big following to have a 5-figure launch. And so I'm breaking their beliefs, right? I am busting the myths. I'm helping them restructure how they look at their success. I'm having them restructure essentially their belief system around the topic that I'm teaching. So reprogramming their belief systems with the topics that you choose, and then mixing that with the foundational principles they need coming into the program is what is going to create a high converting challenge. You know, so often I hear people that are just so afraid to give away too much. And the thing is, when you host your challenge, the content isn't about taking parts of your course or bigger program and just stripping them down into micro concepts, but it's about giving them what they need to be prepared and ready to succeed in that next program. It's about making sure that not only their logistical foundation is in place, but their mindset foundation is in place too. And you have shifted these paradigms and you've shifted their belief system. So by the time that you open the doors, they are ready. They have a new belief. They have a new excitement. They have new information to be able to confidently jump into your offer. So this is my favorite launch strategy. I'm so excited for Launch Party Week coming up. Seriously, if you guys want to see this in action, this is my highest converting launch event. It's the one I'm most excited to show up to. It is the one that rallies the most people around, and it's just a really fun experience for everyone involved. We do some unique things. We play different games. We really create an entire community in just, under a week's time. And so like I said, if you want to see this in action, make sure you get registered. I'd love to have you there. And of course, it will be jam-packed with launch tips just like this one. So that wraps up this week's episode of Aligned and Ambitious TV, and I will see you guys next week.